Hi everybody, this is Jared from Choice Health and Fitness. We're going to go through a prehab, mobility, and rehab workout. I know some of you may be at home getting a little bit stiff. We want to try and get you guys moving. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through a workout that's going to start with our prehab and mobility. What you're going to start with is some scap push-ups. We're going to do 2 sets of 10 to 15. We're going to do internal, external rotations. You can use these with soup cans. You can use dumbbells if you would like. Anything in your hands to help add a little bit of stress. Incline push-ups is going to be the next one. We're going to do each one of those for 10 to 15 repetitions. Our fourth one of that working set is going to be plank drags with our water jugs. You know, we've seen some of those with some of our other workouts that we're sending you. We're going to keep utilizing those. Those we're going to do for 2 sets of 6 to 8 repetitions. So in total, you'll do about 12 to 16 repetitions of both. We're going to finish up with some of our rehab. We're going to use some soup cans for sure on these ones. We're going to use them as empty cans. We'll show you that one. It's going to be 2 sets of 10 to 15. We will also need to maybe modify for some of you. The motion of the modified empty can is a little bit easier to do than the full empty can. So I'll show you both of those. Quadruped hip rotations are a good one to keep those hips a little bit mobile. Sometimes sitting can create a little bit of an uncomfortable feeling in our hips and glutes, so we'll get those moving. Quadruped YTAs are what we're going to finish with for a little bit of that shoulder mobility, rehab, and rotator cuff movement. So we're going to get 2 sets of 5 to 8 each in that range. It's up to you, and we'll go from there. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with our prehab and mobility. We're going to start with our number 1, which is scap push-ups. So find any surface that you can that's a little bit elevated to help you through this process. For the first one, we're going to start on the floor. For our scap push-up, you're going to get in just a basic push-up position. Shoulders are going to be directly over the hands, okay? Feet separated for comfortability. You're going to let your shoulders drop down a little bit. You're going to let those scaps push together, and you're going to push yourself away from the floor, okay? You're going to want to make sure that you keep your core nice and strong on this one, otherwise you're going to get dipping in your hips, okay? So keep those hips up and push through the floor, okay? From there, you're going to do your 2 sets. You're going to do 10 to 15 repetitions. We're going to do internal, external rotation. So this is where you can use your cans if you would have. If you have small dumbbells, go ahead and use those. We don't want to use anything probably over the top of that 8 to 10 range. They get a little bit heavy. Okay, so what you can do is I'll show you from the front angle here. You're going to have your hands pointing towards the ceiling. You have you from here. Open your arms as wide as you can. Again, not trying to pop those hips. Okay. Close them up for that internal rotation, external rotation here, internal rotation. From the side, you'll see it here and here, okay? You can play with this one a little bit. You can have hands rotated over or up, so either one, do which one you would like. Either one helps in the forearms, okay? So from there, we'll put those down. We'll have our incline push-ups. Again, this can be done on chairs, this can be done on couches, walls if you would have that. So from here, I'm going to use my imitation of a chair. Okay, so I'm going to use my hands in front of me. I'm going to go into a push-up, push away. Okay, keeping my body in a nice plank form, straight as an arrow if we can. If you need, you can also adjust on your chairs to hold to the side. It can be a little bit more comfortable for you. Okay, down and then up. Okay, a lot of people try and tuck their chin. I want you to stay nice and tall. And then finish up from there. Okay, for our last one, it's going to be one of our harder ones. It's going to be a plank drag with our water jugs. You're going to be in a plank position. Make sure to give yourself a wide base on this one. I'll show you what I mean by that. We're going to have the jug underneath us. Make sure to start with it under one arm, okay? From here, you're going to take that jug and pull it across your body, okay? From here, you can see that my feet are a little bit separated, so I have that wide base like I explained. We're going to take that hand from underneath us, pull it across our body. So if you can't do in this plank position, you're going to go down to your knees, okay? You're going to keep that belly button tucked to your spine, and then you'll pull it from there. Okay, it's much easier, but it's still able to be difficult enough for you to make it work. Okay? So from here, we're done with the work. All right, now we're gonna go through our rehab, our last bit of this exercise. Again, we're gonna use some of those soup cans. I don't have soup cans with me right now, so I'm gonna modify with my small dumbbells. They're 5 pounds, okay? So what I'm going to do are my soup can empty cans. Okay, so I'll show you my front view here first. You're gonna start with your thumbs pointing behind you, okay? So the backs of your hands are gonna be right on your thighs. Okay, from here, stay nice and tall. Good posture. From here, rotate out to a 45. As you get to 90 degrees, you're gonna start rotating those arms to get to 90. And then we just reverse that motion back down, staying nice and tall. Okay, some of you may want to try and round your arms forward. That's where I sit, stay nice and tall, get to 90 and 90. Okay, that's what we'll say if you come and see us, 90 and 90. Okay, from there I'll go to a side view for you. Come here, 90 and 90. Okay, working those rotator cuffs, we're working all through the shoulders. Keep it nice and strong. For those of you that have a difficult time with that, that's okay. Because now we'll go to a modified empty can. This is a little bit easier, but we can stay on the floor for this one. We don't have to stand and worry about all of our body working at the same time. We'll just isolate the shoulder and the rotator cuff. So you're gonna start with your hand facing outwards, the palm's gonna be facing the floor. Okay, your can is gonna be facing sideways. Now what you'll do is you'll lift and rotate that can back behind you. This is where that empty can comes into play. You're literally emptying the can out, okay? Tossing that can out behind you, okay? Each side, you're gonna be doing that 10 to 15, well, you're probably gonna wanna do 8 to 10 each side, since we're doing 10 to 15 total for the regular empty can, so anywhere in that 8 to 10 each side would be fine. From here, we'll go into our quadruped hip rotation. So since I'm already on the ground with those modified empty cans, we don't have to do a lot of sitting up, standing up to you though if you want to. From here, our quadruped position is here, okay? All fours on the ground, hands on the floor, knees on the ground, hips directly over those knees. From here, we're going to try and make sure that we lift that leg up, push it behind us. Some of you may not be able to get very high. Some of you may only get to here, but you push straight back and bring it back underneath you. Okay, what you're gonna try and do is lift it as high as you can without rotating in those hips too much, pushing and coming back, okay? So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna reverse that, coming back and through. Make sure that we end with those hips directly over top of those knees or those knees directly under the hips, what have you, okay? From there, you're gonna make sure that you do those 8 to 10 repetitions each side, and that is forward and reverse, okay? Go through both directions through your hips. Now we're gonna stick with that quadruped positioning, but we're gonna do YTAs. Now this one's gonna centralize in our shoulders, okay? From here, I'll show you the forward position first. So our Ys, Ts, and our As, okay? So shoulders over hands. You can use weights if you would like, but I'll start with no weights because this is what I had to do when I had shoulder problems. So I'm gonna go out to a Y, which is about 45 degrees out, and then back down. Then you can rotate your hand so that your thumb is facing outward. We got our T, and then we'll flip and rotate so that our palm is behind us, and we'll go A, okay? When we go into our A, make sure that we're not trying to go too far. We wanna keep that shoulder nice and aligned so that our shoulder doesn't dip, okay? We wanna stay nice and good through our posture, okay? Make sure that we go through both sides, okay? So that we get even work on both sides. From there, make sure we do our 5 each, okay? 2 sets, and you'll be good to go.